Good morning. We are now 6 weeks into my tower garden, and one of the questions that I was asked is, when I'm reporting to you week by week, saying, for example, this is week 6, is that how long it took them to go from seed to what you see here today? And the answer is no. There's a period of time you got to grow your seed in the rock well. For most of the seeds, that equates anywhere from about 5 to 15 days, somewhere in that time spectrum. If you'll go back and look at my week 1 video, you will see quite a few items on the tower garden, even at that time, were about the size of your thumb. Now take your thumb and take a look at it. When they get about that size, that's about when it's time to transport them over to the tower garden. You want the roots to start to take hold into the rock well before you bring them over. Still, if you look at the growth from week 1 to week 6, you will notice that there's been a lot of growth. More so than planting them in a traditional garden. Now, what you see here in the front is my cucumber. And if I am able to find one, I'll show you. We actually have some starting to grow. They're little right now, but they weren't here a week ago, so we're seeing growth of cucumbers. I'll probably have about, I don't know, about 5 or 6 growing right now. I've still got my lettuce blends. They're doing really well. My kale, I'm getting ready to start harvesting my kale pretty good. My Bibb lettuce this week has done amazing. I was told it takes about 2 months to get ready from the time I put it in, but I think it might be ready sooner than that. My Russian red kale, it's doing good. My basil's doing better. Everything is doing really good. During this past week, we have harvested about 8 to 10 snow peas, and then I've got about that many again on the tower garden. And they just started producing a couple of weeks ago. So over the past 2 weeks, I've harvested somewhere right around $20 to $25 worth of food off my tower garden, right? And after this evening, because I've got a bunch more lettuce I'm going to take off of here, that'll be more like $35. So we're really within the last 2 weeks, about $35 worth of produce will have been taken off my tower garden. It pays for itself real quick, guys. And I'd like for you to have the opportunity to grow this amazing food, not just for the sake of growing it. That in of itself is an enriching experience. But also because of the amazing flavor this has. You've never tasted produce, or at least I haven't tasted produce this good, this earthy, and this flavorful that I can ever remember. And that includes organic farming. It's amazing food, guys. This is what I call the elixir, or the food that will sustain you well up into years. Now, I have a lot of low carb friends, and they've asked me, you know, will this hurt their diet? And the answer is absolutely not. There's nothing on here that's sugary. The snow peas, if you have a lot of them, and I mean by more than a cup, might be a little bit more than you want in one setting, but you're never going to have that much in one setting anyway. But everything else on here grows, is low carb, very low carb. When it comes to maintenance, I thought I'd better add this in. The main thing is to make sure that you clean your filter, your pump, I should say, once a month. Right about now, as it's getting hotter outside, I'm having to fill up the tower garden about 10 gallons a week right now because it's hot. And as you can see, with as much that's on here, it's using a lot of the water to grow what's on here. But still, that's 10 gallons a week is nothing for 28 plants. And then you just add your minerals and make sure your pH is right, and then you're good to go. My maintenance on this a week is about 15 minutes, guys. Somebody asked me, could I get specific, and that's as specific as I can get. 15 minutes. 15 minutes a week to grow all this amazing food. It's well worth it. Anyway, this is week 6. I'll be back at week 7. May the Lord bless you and keep you in His hands. Have a good week.